Hi everyone, welcome back and happy Friday. So today we're working on my non-dominant hand and I did cut it down to a regular short shape, but I want to show you guys something. So today we're going to be reviewing the Soul dip liquids. So her dip liquids come in a 1 through 4 set, and the first thing that I noticed off the bat is that it comes with the bond. Now usually I won't use this because I have peel base, but I do recommend you guys using this if you guys don't use a peel base and you want your mani to last. So I'm going to go ahead and put that little guy to the side. These are the ones that we're going to be focusing on for this video today. And to hold my liquids, I'm going to go ahead and put them in my Liquids Chaos Trio. This just makes it easier for me to have all three of them out at the same time and kind of have them in front of me while I do my mani. Okay, and then these are the colors that we're going to be using. This is Messy Bun Getting Stuff Done. This one is from the Pink Mother's Day Trio. And then this one is Classy, which is a very classy pink. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Messy Bun Getting Stuff Done. I wanted to start with this one. Usually I start with my solids, but I wanted to start with this one because I wanted to show you guys how to apply the glitter. And like I said, it's a new color, so I wanted to use it on my hands first. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my thumb application. I'm going to go ahead and explain how I apply my dip, and then I want to go ahead into the dip liquid review. So we're going to go ahead and take some dip base and do it about 3/4 of the way up the nail. I do it a little bit closer to almost a full layer of it, and then I'm going to go ahead and lay my finger down into the cupcake liner. You guys, I like to lay my finger down when it comes to like glitters or like flake type of dips or like foils. I like to lay my finger down into the cupcake liner because it makes it easier for application. Now I'm also going to be using this little guy. This is her cleanup tool and it has Soul Dip on it, the little logo. This is the side that we're going to be using today, but I also wanted to show you how the other side looks like. This is a wax pointed pencil part where you can do like pick up the gems and stuff, and I love that it's super hot pink. It's really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and just run that through my cuticle line just to clean up my edges and stuff. Now you guys, I also like to sift the glitter in the cupcake liner a little bit because that brings the glitters up to the top. So it makes it better for application once you lay your finger down into it. So now we're ready for a full layer of dip base. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have enough on my brush to cover my entire nail, but not to like drown my cuticle area or sidewalls. So I'm going to go ahead and put a full layer of dip base. I'm going to wipe my brush before I return it to the bottle. And then again, I'm going to lay my finger down into the cupcake liner. So I'm doing this actually very, very lightly. I'm not pushing all the way down to the cupcake liner while I'm reaching the bottom. I'm just doing it like patting it down in there. I promise you guys, the dip base will pick up all that like dip powder on its own. So again, you don't have to have a heavy hand. Just go ahead and roll it down into that cupcake liner. Now, before you move on, you always want to make sure that you pat your glitters flat on your nail, like flat and flushed. I like to do this because we're going to end up clear capping and you don't want anything to like stick out of place. Now, you guys, this dip powder is very, very light. It's like more like a sheer finish, but I still wanted to do 3 layers of it because I wanted to grab all of the intensity of the glitter. So I'm going to go ahead and do another layer of dip base. I'm going to do a full layer. And then again, I'm going to go ahead and roll my thumb into that cupcake liner, trying to pick up all of that gorgeous glitter. A really quick tip, you guys, when you're cleaning up your cuticle area, you don't have to press down super, super hard. The dip powder and dip base is still doing its thing, so it's technically still wet. So you don't have to rub too hard to get like a clean cuticle line. All right, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and apply this same dip powder on my pointer and middle finger. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch while I do that. But let's go ahead and get into the liquids review. So first thing off the bat, when I opened the package, I noticed that the bottles were not like the plastic bottles. I'm not a big fan of those like cheapy, plasticky, wiggly bottles, if you know what I mean. They're very, very sturdy. And they also got some weight to it. So like I said, they're not like those flimsy bottles. Another thing that I noticed, you guys, like I said earlier in the video, hers comes with a bond instead of like a brush cleaner, how usually some of them do. I like that hers comes with a bond because for those girls who like to keep their manis for like 2 to 3 weeks at a time, bond is going to help you help that mani last. So again, hers comes with a bond, which is number 1, and then the dip base is 2, activator is 3, and then the top coat is number 4. Now, I also did open them up to smell them when I first got them, but because I was just curious. I know that sounds weird, but I wanted to smell them to see if they had a strong odor. A lot of people are kind of prone to that dip flu, and for me, sometimes it's the activator that kind of bothers me. So I actually just went and opened them right when I got them just to smell them because I was curious, like I said, and they actually don't have a strong odor. Now, for the girls that still do get that dip flu, don't get me wrong, I'm not sure if you will be able to take the smell because they do have a slight odor to them. So for the girls who have that dip flu or suffer from the dip flu, these still might bother you if it's like really severe. But in my opinion, they actually don't have like those strong odors as other companies that I used before. So that's definitely a plus for me. Now, the actual liquids like the dip base and the top coat, oh my gosh, I actually fell in love with them. So these are going to be in my recommends list because number 1, they're slow drying, which I love because that gives me a lot of time to clean around the cuticle area and my sidewalls and things like that. Also, the actual liquids are very thin. So that leads to like a thin application and you don't get like a bulky nail. So that's definitely a huge plus for me because nobody likes bulky nails and I don't want to walk around with thick nails, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the actual brush inside the bottle. I feel like sometimes people don't talk about this enough. So for Soul Dips, she actually, as you can tell, hers comes with the white or that clear brush, which to me, in my opinion, actually gives you a better application than the dip liquids that come with the black brushes. For whatever reason, the black brushes are more stiff and they kind of give you like a streaky application, whereas for the clear or the white brushes, it's definitely more even. It's a lot more not as stiff, like the brush is more malleable and it kind of like flows on your nail. And for Soul Dip, the entire dip liquids collection does come with that white or clear brush. So again, a big plus for me. I like that because like I said before, I am not a fan of the black brushes. They're just harder to use in my opinion. All right, you guys, so we're ready to go ahead and move on. I'm going to go ahead and put this away, but I wanted to show you guys something. So Soul is the only one that I know that packs this all the way to the brim, you guys. I don't even know how she gets that done. Like, it's crazy. All of her dips are like this. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull out Classy. and this is going to be for the ring finger and the pinky. Now this is a different shade of a pink, but it's also a different type of pink, but they flow like really nicely together once the actual mani is done. Now the messy bun and getting stuff done, like you guys see, you can tell right now it's more like a sheer pink, and classy is going to be more opaque the more layers we do. So again, we're going to go ahead and do 3 layers of this one. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch. Now we are still going to go ahead and clear cap our glitters. All right, really quick, you guys, I don't think I mentioned it earlier because I was just focusing on the liquids, but the little hand rest or finger rest that I'm using is called Steady Chaos from Chaos Concepts. So this is actually one of her newer items that she just released, I believe, last month. And I like this one better than like my single finger rest one because it helps me like have all of my fingers out so I can look at my entire mani. I do still use my other like single rest one, the Rest in Chaos, to like file and buff and things like that, but I like this one when I actually do in my applications. All right, you guys, so we made it to our pinky, but I'm gonna go ahead and speed this part up for you guys because it is the same way I apply all the other fingers, and I wanted to go ahead and again speed it up so we can go ahead and clear cap our glitters. All right, you guys, so now we're ready to clear cap our glitters. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a full layer of dip base on my thumb, my pointer, and my middle finger. This is very important to do when you're doing a glitter mani, you guys, because this is gonna keep the integrity of the glitters, like when you file and buff and things like that. So I do recommend you guys clear capping or putting a clear layer on top of all your glitters before you file and buff. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and activate all the nails. Now for this part, you guys, the activator can go on your skin. It's not gonna do anything to your skin or anything like that, but you wanna make sure that you put a generous amount that it's gonna soak through all of the layers of the dip. So sometimes I do it, not just the one layer, but go over it one more time. So make sure you go ahead and activate those because this is what's gonna cure and harden the nail before you file and buff. This is how they look like right after. Now I am gonna go ahead and file and buff off camera because this is again my non-dominant hand. And bam, thank goodness for the magic of YouTube. So I did decide to add some flour and a bead to it because I feel like it needed a little bit more. But we are going to clear cap that with the gel liquid. So I'm actually going to use that as well today in this video. But for right now, let's go ahead and activate these other 4 nails so we can go ahead and get the dip top coat on them. Now for this layer of activator, this can be a thin layer. This layer of activator is actually going to help the dip top coat adhere, so you don't need too much like you did before. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. And then I'm going to go ahead and let that sit for about a minute or so. So I'm going to go ahead and get the dip top coat ready. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a lint-free wipe and some alcohol, and I'm going to go ahead and wipe the nails down just to remove any excess activator off of my nails. I do this every time I use a dip top coat, you guys. You don't have to, but I highly recommend it because this is going to avoid from that brush from hardening or getting contaminated. So that's why I like to do it. So for the first layer, you guys, we're going to go ahead and just make sure that you cover the entire nail, but you don't want to flood it. So you want to make sure that you have enough product on the brush to cover your nail. Now, before returning the brush to your bottle, always wipe that brush clean because you want to avoid contamination and, again, avoid that brush from hardening. Also, for the first layer, you want to try and do this in the least amount of strokes possible, because that avoids from like the streaking and things like that. I like to do it in about 4 swipes. Sometimes I do a little bit more, but again, the least amount of swipes, the better. Now, once your nail looks kind of rough like this, when it's like kind of, I don't know, it just looks kind of grainy, that's when you're ready for the second coat. So the second coat is where you can be more precise, everything, you can make it more even. Also, for the girls who love to keep their mani for 2 to 3 weeks, this is also where you want to clear cap your free edge. I'm not doing it in this video because I only keep my manis for like 2 to 3 days. But again, for the girls who like to keep their manis on longer, make sure that you go ahead and cap that free edge. Okay, so now that we're done with our dip liquids, let's move on to the gel liquids. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my gel base first, and I'm going to go ahead and put a layer of that onto the ring finger where it has the decals. I'm trying to make sure everything comes out even. So kind of focusing in between the decals and then on top of the decals. Now, you guys, prior to this video, I have used her gel liquids before, as well as like her builder gels, and they were always on my recommendations list. So if you guys are in the market for like more gels or to try out gels or builder gels, I do recommend hers. Okay, now we're ready for our gel top coat. Now, you guys, you could go in with just a gel top coat on the decals. That's usually what I do, since I only keep my mani for about 2 to 3 days, like I said before. But I did see that some of the corners would start peeling, and that's because I didn't add the gel base. So if you guys are going to use a gel top coat, just know that you do need a gel base to go under it. Honestly, you guys, the application is just better, and then to avoid that peeling, you have to put that gel base and then that gel top coat. All right, you guys, and last but not least, we're going to go ahead and add some hydration back to our skin. We're going to go ahead and moisturize our cuticles. Today, I'm using Candy Skincare from like that Easter collection, which, by the way, this one smells so good. So I'm going to go ahead and rub that into my cuticles just to make sure everything is hydrated. All right, you guys, so this is our final result. I absolutely love how it came out, and that glitter is just so stunning. And that little bee and the little flower, so cute. All right, you guys, so let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and comment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.